Hey YouTube. Alright, so it's Saturday and I've been over here at the house all day. Well, since like 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon, swapping some parts around. So I just swapped around the passenger side fender and now it lines up with the headlight. And then I pulled the front bumper off on this side. It slides. And over here, I just grabbed this bracket and pulled it out like that. And bent it back how it's supposed to be. And yeah, so I took the corner marker lights off this one. I really wish I could take this fender, but it's all fucked. But look, it has door panels. It's got a really nice leather interior. The dash is like immaculate, except for right here. It's the only little spot. It's right above the trim there. The gas gauge does not work on this one, but everything else works. Everything else does what it's supposed to do. It's really not a bad car. So what I'm gonna end up doing is, since the motor in this is bad, which the whole reason I went to go buy it was to get the engine for the 06, but it was knocking, it locked up, so engine's junk. I'm just gonna take the heads and the supercharger and shit off of it, and all the pulleys and belt shit, and just strip it down. And it's just gonna be my parts car. I'm gonna end up taking this whole steering column, since it has the key and all that, and the ignition, and I'm just gonna swap everything from this car into that car. Center console, if the cup holder works. So everything in here works. The back seat's pretty nice. See, I know the factory speakers back there, it has factory subwoofers on the side if you look at it from in the trunk. But it's pretty nice. So I'm probably going to end up just swapping the doors around with the panels and all. And I've already swapped the trunk. This is the trunk I had on the 97. Tulsa sticker. And then I've still got to jack it up and get the exhaust off, and there's still quite a bit I gotta get done. But I just wanted to do some body stuff on this and try to make this one look a little bit nicer. And I've still got to take the hood back and put it back on here. But yeah, so hopefully by me pulling this out, I just got to throw my headlight back in there and make sure that it stays even. And once I know for sure that it's nice and even, then I could pop the headlight back out, put the bumper back on, and then throw my headlight back in. And then also this horn on this side doesn't work, so I need to swap this horn out for one that works. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's going pretty well. So y'all stay tuned and I'll give you guys another update. Sorry I didn't record a whole lot. I woke up late, I slept in, and I just came out here and started working, and wasn't even thinking about recording. So, but y'all didn't really miss too much, just pulling off a couple fenders, and yeah. So y'all stay tuned and I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so got this side lined up pretty good. Looks pretty good. And I got this side pulled out. Lined up pretty nice. So not bad. There's a little bit of a big gap right here, but not really a whole lot I can do about it. That's just how the fender went back, or that's how the fender already was. I don't remember it having such a big gap right there before, but it is what it is. Maybe it's just for me tweaking it up here. It tweaked it down there a little. I'm not for sure. But it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I threw the hood back on here. I was trying to pop this dent out from underneath, and I was hitting it way in the wrong spot and kind of fucked up the paint a little bit right there. But it is what it is. I don't really care. I might end up go ahead and swapping the front bumper just because this one kind of looks kind of pink in a lot of spaces, and this one's actually still pretty red. Like, I mean, it has some damage on it. It has some scratches and shit, but it's not pink. So, I don't know. I might end up swapping the front bumper around. I might not. But I'm pretty happy with it. I have a fog light bulb out. I need to replace the fog light bulb. Look at that nice solid beam. Looks good. So, next thing's next is going to be interior. So, I know it's going to be a lot of bullshit and a lot of work, but I want to get it done. Because I really like all the black leather. I know this driver's seat has got a couple tears in it. Nothing horrible, nothing major. The back seat looks nice. It's just dirty. It just needs a good wipe down. The carpet looks nicer than in the 97. Like, just everything about this interior is nicer than the 97. So I'll probably end up, since these are the correct seat belts, I'll just take all the stuff so I can put these panels back in the 97. I'm going to look at the full factory interior. And then I'm going to keep my speakers that are in here now, in here. So I'm going to keep the Sony's. And I'm probably going to end up swapping, I don't know, I kind of want to swap the driver door, but right here on the other door is just way, way worse condition. As you can see, it's just way worse. But this one has a trim piece. It's got a little damage right here, but I mean, it still has this trim piece compared to that one doesn't. And this one, the window actually goes up and down, and everything on this door works. So it really wouldn't be hard just to, you know, 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there, and a wire harness, take the whole door and just swap the whole damn door around. And look, I took the 07 pre-hood and just set it on here. Just to try to keep rain out and shit like that. Just deter people from fucking with it. But yeah, so I've made quite a bit of progress today. I got this whole passenger fender swapped around. Looks pretty good. Looks decent. Looks better than it did before, with both sides being pushed way in and not lining up with the lights. And then I got the corner marker swapped out and this headlight swapped out. Not too bad, not too bad. For just a few hours. Oh, and I got the trunk swapped out. So now the trunk doesn't have all the scratches and the names carved in the paint and shit. It's just got that one little scratch there. Nothing major. So, yep, now I just gotta, next thing I gotta do tomorrow is I gotta get the full exhaust off of that car, and get the full exhaust off of this one, and get that full exhaust on this car. And then once I have the exhaust off, I also have to swap out that rear exhaust manifold, because this one has a stud snapped off, in case you guys had forgot. And this one has a stud snapped off of the rear manifold. So I have another manifold. It's either in the shed or it's over at my storage, but I have another manifold to go on it. I just have to swap it out. Or shit, I could just take the one off that car. That works too. That way I don't have to run to my storage. I can just pull it off that one. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan for tomorrow. Is I've got to get this exhaust off to go back on the 06. I got to get the exhaust off the 06 so I can put this exhaust back on there. And then I got to take the exhaust off the 98 so I can put it on the 97. And then once I get this exhaust off of this car, off the 98, if you look down here, it's not even welded. It's loose as fuck. Just got some clamps on there, ghetto clamps. And then up here, I don't know if there's any exhaust leaks off that or not. Like I said, I never really got to hear the exhaust very much. That one seems pretty solid. But the one on that side is loose as fuck. So, I'm definitely going to have to fix that. But other than that, it's not that bad. So, I brought home the welder right there, so that once I do get that exhaust off, I can just weld that up, get rid of them old clamps, and then the exhaust will be ready to go back on here on the 97. So that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. So I'm going to get all this stuff picked up and put up, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. So y'all have a good night. See you in the morning. YouTube. So, been swapping some stuff around. Got the door handle pulled out of both cars. I've already got the window regulator and everything all swapped around. So now my window works. So nice. So I've got that done, and so I decided to go ahead and swap the door handle so that the key that I have, I'll actually be able to unlock my doors, so I can lock them now. And so I'm going to do a little bit of touch up with this nail polish right here. My buddy David went ahead and hit it with the wire wheel. There was a little bit of rust on it, and it had a big gap, so I tried to bend it back up into place. So I'm going to do a little bit of touch up on that before I put the other door handle back in, which is right here. It's actually a little bit nicer than the other one. The other one's kind of faded. So yeah, and then my dumb ass, whenever I was taking it out, I cut these wires, and then after I cut them, found that it just plugs in. So got to splice those back together, and I'm gonna get this thing installed. And well, I got to paint it first. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated once I get this all together. All right, you guys. So the handle is on. It's hooked up. Where's my key? So cool, everything works. The window goes up and down still. Nothing's in the way. I'm happy with that. So good. Oh, really? Alright, so I guess I gotta go open it from the inside. It's not all good yet. Alright, time to take it back apart. Alright, you guys, so I got it figured out. So, if you look at this little black clip right there on this bar, this one right here. So before I had the thread sticking down out the bottom, and I guess it just wasn't pushing the lever down far enough, so I just had to adjust that a little bit, and now whenever I pull it, pushes it all the way down. So now it works. So hell yeah. So now I just got to put this piece for the window back in, It's just one 10mm bolt right here. So it just slides right up there behind the window, and it bolts in right here. So I gotta get that back in, and then put the foam piece back in. And then, so this door panel, it's just junk. Look, it's like, it's broke all over. Like, it's just trash. It's falling apart. It was glued onto the door, like everywhere. It was glued onto the trim piece that goes here. Like, it's just junk. So I'm not even going to use the door panel. But at least now the window goes up and down, and I can lock the car. So, making progress. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys, so I'm just taking a break, eating some lunch. But I've got this car, the 97, is pretty much done on the driver's side. I know, depending on if the passenger side door panel is glued on or not, and how good a condition it is, I might take the passenger door panel and put it on the passenger door, since I'm going to swap the seats and everything. But if the passenger door panel is just as torn up as that one, then I'm not going to swap it. Hey YouTube. Alright, so today's Wednesday. It's about 7 p.m. And I had the day off because it was piss pouring down rain this morning. We couldn't really do anything. So it's actually starting to dry up a little bit. It hasn't been raining for a few hours. So next thing I want to do is I got this thing jacked up and on jack stands, and I want to pull this starter because whenever I was out there, like whenever I bought the car, I already purchased the car before I even went out there, so I pretty much just had to take it because I already bought it and paid for it. But yeah, like the car did run and it did move, but the engine was knocking pretty bad. But then it would run, and if I revved it, it would like knock and then stop and run with no sound, and then it would like kind of come back. So I was kind of thinking supercharger coupler, kind of thinking maybe a rocker or a push rod or something, and then the engine just seized up completely and just died. And now when I try to start it, it just goes click click. So I took my breaker bar with that 24mm socket, and I put it on the crank pulley, and I can spin it backwards. Oh, if I don't drop my phone and break it again. But yeah, so I can spin it backwards, like almost 2 full revolutions, and then it locks up again. And then I can spin it forward 2 revolutions, and it locks up again. So what I was kind of thinking was, if someone's ever done a transmission swap in this thing, which is very possible with the mileage, then, maybe one of the torque converter flex plate bolts backed out. So I'm about to pull this stupid little dust cover off. It's got a 10mm right there on the front. It's a pain in the ass to get to. And then once that dust cover's off, it's 2 14mm. I've already disconnected the battery, so I don't have to worry about any of the connections up here. I'm pretty sure it does need a new starter anyways, but for right now, I just want to check. I want to check out the knock. So I'm gonna get this dust cover off, get the starter out, and then I'll give you guys another update. All right, so I got the starter out, got that dust cover off. I ended up having to use a 10mm wrench just because I was trying to use my socket and a ratchet with a little extension and go up through here. But this was in the way, and the AC line up here was in the way. So I just used my wrench like this. Got that tin out. And then there was 2 more tins right here with the dust cover, with this bigger dust cover here. So I got that out of the way. And really, if you look up in there, that torque converter looks fucking brand new almost. But yeah, so now I've got my breaker bar, 24mm socket. And so now I've got to turn this engine over backwards so I can check these flex plate torque converter bolts. Make sure all 3 of them are tight. And go from there. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update here momentarily. Alright, you guys. So I spun it back and forth a few times, and out of all 3 of the torque converter flex plate bolts. All of them are tight. Like, I don't know why I won't zoom in anymore. Alright. But yeah, all three of the bolts are tight. It does look like it has a brand new torque converter. Maybe it's just super clean because of dust shields. But I know the rest of the trans looks pretty old. Even on the inside, it's pretty fucking dirty. That torque converter looks brand new. So I know I'm probably gonna, whenever I can get this car over to my storage, I'll probably have to get another outside parking spot, so that way I can, no, it'll be in the concrete for the cherry picker. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna pull the whole engine and trans out in one piece and just part this thing out like I did the parts Grand Am. I'll keep the trans, and I'll probably try to use it for the 97 and do a filter and pan gasket and new fluid and all that, and definitely clean it up because that thing is caked. I thought it had been replaced before, but if it has, that's bad. But yeah, it's not the torque converter flex plate bolts, so it either had to have had bent a push rod or dropped a valve or rocker came loose, something happened. And so yeah, I'll end up pulling the whole engine out with the trans, and I'm gonna tear everything apart, and I'll do like a tear down video, just tearing the whole engine down and seeing what went wrong in the engine. And I'll probably end up getting another block. I still have a good engine block in the 06 right now, so as long as I can get that head bolt drilled out of the 06 pre-engine, then I'll just rebuild it with all this stuff and make another supercharged engine. And that engine will probably go back into the 97. But yeah, so right now I guess I'm just gonna bolt the starter back on, just because I don't want to undo it all. And probably just take this thing off of jack stands and just say fuck it for the night. But yeah, look at that brand new alternator. Shit, what I paid for the car was worth the alternator right there. Like, but yep, I don't know. Y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys, so I'm back under the 98 parts car. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and throw the starter back in and get this thing off of jack stands, because I borrowed them from my neighbor across the street. So I don't want to keep them over here for too long. But sometime in the next couple days, I'm going to try to pull the steering rack off this thing, and the cooler lines and the transmission cooler lines, because all this shit's leaking on the 97, and I still got to drive it until I can get another engine. So I don't know, whatever comes first, whether I get another engine for the 06 or I pull this shit out. But for now, I'm just going to bolt this starter back up in here, and I'm just going to leave the dust shields off. I don't really care about that shit. Not for this. And get this thing off jack stands and pick all my tools up. It's alright, it's dark, it's getting cold, so I'm going to get this thing back together, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright, y'all. I hooked the battery back up. Starter's back in. Let's see what it does. Battery's dead. Oh well. I didn't figure it was going to do anything. It still was locking up going forward, so it's a whatever. I guess this battery's junk. Oh well. Either way, here in like the next week or something. I don't know. It's supposed to be raining for like the next week to week and a half. So we're supposed to have a good day tomorrow and Friday. And then it's supposed to start raining on Saturday. And it's supposed to rain all weekend. And then all week next week. And through next weekend. So for like 9 or 10 days straight, it's supposed to rain. Which really fucking sucks. Because I'm a roofer. And when it rains, I don't really get to do a whole lot. So I don't have very good hours on rainy weeks. I miss days. Like today. I didn't work today because it was raining. So, I don't know. I guess we'll just see how everything goes. And yeah, I'm going to get this thing off jack stands and get all my tools picked up and loaded back in the trunk of the 97. And probably call it a night. So, y'all have a good night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hey YouTube. Alright, it is Monday. It's like April 4th or 5th or somewhere right in there. I don't even know what day it is no more. I know it's Monday. But so yesterday, I was messing with this a little bit, and I just pulled the coil pack bracket off. I noticed that I wanted to pull the engine and do a complete teardown video on it. So, yeah, I kind of needed the money. So I posted the whole top swap for sale. And I've got someone who wants to buy it. So I've been pulling everything off. And this is where I'm at right now. Man, I guess that the chick I bought the car from, I guess they had someone redo the engine. Like all the gaskets. Because it had some pretty new lower intake manifold gaskets. It had a newer supercharger gasket. It's got brand new coolant O-rings in the lower intake manifold. Like everything on it looks nice. It had new valve cover gaskets and grommets. I mean, they've definitely been replaced. They're not brand new now, but they definitely were replaced at some point. They're not OEM. So yeah, and I'm just going to finish getting this thing torn apart, and I've got to get the front and the rear head off, and I've got to pull the rockers and the push rods, and I've got to get the crank pulley and this supercharger idler pulley, and I'm pretty sure, I think that's it that I'm selling to him. And then he said he doesn't need the harness or the ECM, so I was like, that's cool. So he's getting the supercharger, lower intake manifold, the front and the rear head, the valve covers, the rockers, the push rods, the crank pulley, the idler, the coil pack bracket with the coils and ICM, and the factory supercharger belt. So he's getting everything for $250. Oh, and the fuel rail and injectors, and this little cheap filter intake. Yeah, so he's getting everything. So I've only been out here for about 30 minutes, and I've already got this thing, the whole top end torn off. So I just got to get a couple more things off here and be good to go. So y'all stay tuned. I keep you guys updated. All right, you guys. So I got the front head off. It's over here. Looks good. Don't see any damage. Spark plugs all look fine. I mean, they're definitely old. All cylinder walls look good. Pistons look fine. None are chipped or anything. Yep, it's all coming off. So now I just got to get that rear manifold off, and then I can get the rear head and rockers and push rods out, and then I got to get this idler and the crank pulley, and that's it. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys, so I've got most of this off. I've been working on this rear manifold. I've got to get, I took the rockers and the valve cover and push rods all out. So I've got to get this bracket off and get the heat shield off. And then I'll be able to get to all the bolts to pull off the rear manifold. Then I can get to the head bolts. And then I still got to pull this idler and the crank pulley. My storage called because the door on one of my storages is broke, and I've been waiting for them to come fix it. So I have to take a break from this and run to my storage, and then I will be back. So y'all stay tuned, and I will keep you guys updated. So far I haven't seen any catastrophic damage up here. Like, all the top end has been looking, you know, looking fine. So I don't know if it's a lifter possibly, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out whenever I get back and start digging into the rest of this, getting this rear head off. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated whenever I get back. Alright, you guys, so I made a little more progress. I got the idler off from here, and since I had to run in my storage, they ended up not having the right size door to fix my storage today. So while I was over there, I just grabbed another crank pulley so I don't have to mess with trying to get this one off and pulling it and all that. So the only thing I have left to get pulled off of here is this rear head. I've got the rear exhaust manifold undone. I've been fighting that for a while, and I can't pull it up out of here until I get the head out of the way. So I've got my 14 here, and my extendo ratchet here. So now I just need that one extendo to get to the fronts. Now I can get all these head bolts out, and once I get all the head bolts out, the head's off, and that's it. And that's everything that he needs to do his top swap. So he's at work for like another hour until 6, and he actually works out there by where I work, so he's only a good 25-30 minute drive away from me, so not that far. So I'm going to finish getting this rear head off and just kind of clean everything up a little bit, and I'll give you guys another update whenever he gets here to buy it. Okay guys, well, I was going to give you guys another update whenever the guy got here, but I just got the rear head off, and as you can see, we have some damage to the spark plug. So looky here. This piston looks great.
Uh-oh.
Look at that one.
Uh-oh.
That thing's sideways in there. That's not supposed to happen.
I think it chipped a piston.
So, oh yeah, definitely chipped a piston. Definitely. Look at them piston rings. Man, that is not good. Not good. So much for rebuilding this block. At least I still have 5 good pistons. So, yeah, I found the knock.
Found it.
I really wish I would have recorded a video of this thing running when I got there, because I found it. But that's the update. So, yeah, I'll still give you guys another update whenever dude gets here. Alright, you guys, so I've got everything sitting out here on the curb. He should be getting off work in like the next 10 minutes. And then he's gonna head over here. So I'll give you guys another update once he gets here and let you know what he decides. So, but I got everything off. Everything's ready to go. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, you guys. So he bought everything. So all that's gone. I already went ahead and put the hood back on. And next thing I want to focus on is interior stuff. I want to get all this interior swapped, but I need to change the engine mount on this thing and do an oil change. So I'll give you guys another update. Walmart, and I got some oil and a filter and did an oil change, and then also my engine mount was just destroyed. This whole thing's just loose in there. But I had a used mount, so I got it all swapped out. And I cleaned out all the gunk that was down in that little cavity. You can see kind of how much is in the bracket. It was like filled with gunk too. But yeah, so I got that engine mount swapped out, and all I had to do was just take this bolt out of the dog bone and just disconnect this dog bone, and I use that 2x4 and put it on the jack and put it on the oil pan, and just undid the 2 bolts coming off the top right here. That mount goes like that, so I undid these 2 off that bracket that swoops down, and then just lifted the bracket up and then undid the 2 from the bottom of the subframe, and it just slid right out. And I mean, I had to almost max out my jack. I had to lift it up pretty far, and as you lift it up, it pulls it forward, so that's why you have to undo this dog bone mount. But yeah, I just lifted straight up and pulled the old mount out and then scraped it all out. And I dug all that crap out by hand with my fucking bare hand and got all the crap out of there, sprayed it out with carbon choke cleaner because Walmart was sold out of brake cleaner. And yep, replaced the engine mount, got it all back together, and did an oil change, and now it's got a fresh oil change. And then as soon as I started it up, the belt started shredding and got this whole piece, so now I've got to swap the belt. So I just want to give you guys a little update on the car since my phone's a little charged up now. So yeah, that's how my last 5 hours of my life is gone. So y'all stay tuned, I'll keep you guys updated. Well, y'all, so I just got to work. That pump is done for. Yup. So now I've got to swap a pump. Great. Hey YouTube. Alright, so it's after work. It's still Thursday. There's that new engine mount. Got the pump swapped. There's the old one. Junk. And the belt is done. But got the original pump back on. Got the belts back on. This is the belt off the parts car. So had to go grab that today on my lunch break in the work truck from the house. But now it's all back together. So now I just got to fill her up with fluid. Went by AutoZone. Got a gallon of fluid for 20 bucks. They was trying to charge me 20 bucks for 2 quarts. So I just got a whole gallon. It was like 10 cents more. But yeah, so I just got to fill up the pump, start it, let it run, bolt the wheel on, good to go home. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, well, the car made it home. I had power steering the whole way over here, and I stopped at the mailbox and it was just smoking like a motherfucker. So the line, one of the power steering lines is rubbing on the exhaust and it's melted and it's just spraying all over everywhere. So I don't know, I guess I'm going to drive to work tomorrow and just add some more fluid, and hopefully it don't fucking catch on fire. And if all goes well, then this weekend I'll drop the subframe and swap out the steering rack with this one. I was going to order a brand new set of inner and outer tie rods and boots, so I just had brand new everything, and I could just take all this shit off and put brand new shit on and just use these lines because they're good, and then that way they wouldn't be burnt and leaking. But this pump is also making noise. This is the original pump that was already on here whenever I put that brand new one on in the last video. So yeah, that only lasted like a couple weeks, and that pump's junk, and that was a perfectly good pump, and I ran it without fluid. And yeah, that's what happens. So, but yeah, the rack and pinion is cracked in the 97, so that's why I've got to swap the rack and pinion. And the lines are busted and melted from the exhaust. So Yeah, the 97 needs a lot of work, and it's a lot of bullshit to do just to be pulling the engine out for the Grand Dam. But one good thing is the brand new 42.5 pound Lucas injectors. I got these for $175 shipped off Facebook Marketplace. They're still brand spanking new, never been installed. So shout out to dude for giving me a great deal. I forget his name, but he's from Puerto Rico. He has a lot of stuff on there posted for sale, so yeah, it doesn't say his name, but some pretty awesome packaging. Padded envelope. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, really happy with the new injectors. So also I bought I think it's used. It might be brand new. It looks brand new, but it's possibly it could be used. But I got a ZZP all aluminum radiator for $175 with 50 shipping, so it's $225 total. But it also has the slim electric fans already attached to it, so I get the radiator and the fans. That's on the way. And then I also bought a ZZP poly transmission mount, the big fat red motherfucker, and it's a used one, but I got it off our Facebook Marketplace from another guy, Jish, but he's pretty cool. He gave me a good deal. It was like $65 plus shipping. It was like 90 shipped or 95 shipped, something like that. So he gave me a hell of a deal. He worked with me. He's on vacation right now, so as soon as he gets back from vacation in this sometime within the next week, then he's gonna ship it out to me. But it's already paid for. And then I just ordered a brand new set of 225 35 ZR20 Lexani tires for the Grand Dam to go on the 20s. And right now the Grand Dam's sitting on jack stands and blocks because I did have the 20s on the 97, but the tires are just junk. They're bold as fuck, and they need to be balanced again. And so I just went ahead and ordered some brand new tires for them, and whenever they come in the next few days, I'll take the wheels over and get all the tires put on and get them balanced, and then they'll be good to go back on the Grand Dam. I'm not going to run them on the 97 because I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to wear out the tires. But it's cool, making lots of progress. So I guess that's going to be it for this video. So like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.